In this video, we'll be looking at the female triad. The female triad is a syndrome of three interrelated conditions which can lead to serious health problems for a female athlete. The triad is caused by energy deficiency. Energy deficiency is caused by the restriction of calories into the body. A female athlete may do this due to poor body image, trying to be a particular body shape for a sport, sports such as gymnastics, diving, tennis, swimming, may have these particular body shapes that they strive for. They may want to lose weight, or they may be an endurance athlete where they tend to be quite thin. Restricting calories may lead to disordered eating, and disordered eating can lead to more serious problems such as anorexia or bulimia. Restricting calories can lead to lethargy, sickness, fatigue, and of course poor sports performance for the female athlete. Now, restricting calories can affect a female's menstrual cycle and also bone density mass, and this is where the name the female triad comes from. So let's have a look at menstrual disturbances first. Menstrual disturbances can be caused by disordered eating. Restricting food types such as red meat and green leafy vegetables means that the athlete may have a lower iron intake. And iron, as we know, is important for hemoglobin, which helps to carry oxygen around the body. If an athlete has less iron in their body, it can lead to anemia. And of course, anemia can have major impacts on sports performance. That is one of the dot points for the syllabus. We won't be talking about that in this video, but you need to understand the impact of iron deficiency and anemia and what it can do to sports performance for the female athlete. With this low iron, the body may actually stop the menstrual cycle to try and preserve any iron, because as we know, a female will lose iron through the blood in her menstrual cycle. Another reason that energy deficiency can have an impact on the menstrual cycle is because as a female athlete restricts calories, she will start to lose weight. And as body weight decreases, it causes changes in estrogen. And with low estrogen, it actually causes an issue with the menstrual cycle. So the menstrual cycle will cease if her fat levels become too low, and therefore the body will stop menstruating. Also, heavy training can also cause a disturbance in the menstrual cycle, as the athlete may need to, the body may focus on the training rather than the menstrual cycle, which may not be seen as an important issue right now. Now, with this energy deficiency, so we have our drop in energy, and this drop in energy can lead to low body weight, and this low body weight can cause a change or a cessation in the menstrual cycle because of estrogen. Now, also with this decrease in energy, it could be due to restricting foods. So restricting foods like iron can lead to lower iron in the body, and the body decides that the menstrual cycle will stop to try and preserve those iron levels. And another way that energy deficiency can maybe affect the menstrual cycle is if there is heavy training and they're not getting enough calories in. The body may again decide that menstrual cycle is not essential and stop it. With the impact of energy deficiency on estrogen levels, this also has an impact on bone density. So estrogen levels have an impact on the level of calcium that is stored in the bones. So this is another impact of the female triad on a female athlete. So let's have a look at bone density. Low bone density can be related to both disordered eating and menstrual disturbances. So restricting foods such as dairy foods due to their high fat content, they can have an impact on the calcium levels within our body. So if an athlete is restricting calories and dairy food may not be something that they want to eat a lot of, this can have an impact on bone density mass. And if athletes have poor bone density, it can also lead to osteoporosis in the long term. High impact sports can improve bone density, but only if they have sufficient stores of calcium in the first place, which if they're restricting calories, this might not be the case. So we also talked about earlier is that bone density can be affected by the menstrual cycle. So the menstrual cycle is affected by estrogen levels, and estrogen levels can also play a part in how much calcium is either stored or released from the bones. So what happens if there's low estrogen? The menstrual cycle will stop, and when the menstrual cycle stops and low estrogen, when there is low estrogen, it actually causes calcium to be leached out of the bones. And of course, if you have poor bone density, it can lead to osteoporosis. And of course, poor bone density or osteoporosis for an elite athlete can have serious sporting implications. If they're in a high impact sport, they may get stress fractures. So if there's an athlete that's continually running, they may get stress fractures in their shins, which can cause obviously a cessation of training, and it may even be an end to their career. Athletes who play in sports like soccer, where there could be collisions, they may fall down and land on their hand and cause fractures if they have poor or low bone density. So these are some of the ways that this can have an impact on their sporting performance, which is part of the dot point of this for female athletes. In this picture, you can actually see that they've added in some information for the female triad. At this end, the nice green end, they're saying that the athlete has optimal energy availability, so they're eating enough for the energy that they're expending in training. They also have eumenorrhea, which means that she has a healthy, regular menstrual cycle, and this also means that they have optimal bone health. And as you can see, the arrows, the eating means a regular period, also optimal bone health, and because she has a regular cycle, bone health is also healthy. So you can see there that bone health is impacted by both eating and her menstrual cycle. Now, if an athlete has a regular menstrual cycle but now starts to restrict calories, we may find that there's a drop in iron. Now, an athlete will lose iron when she menstruates through hard training, and obviously now she's restricting calories through the food that she's eating. So as we go down the female triad, if they're reducing calories, okay, or having low energy, with or without an eating disorder, this has an impact on the female health. So her menstrual cycle starts to change due to low body weight, that drop in estrogen, or also a change in iron levels. So she may stop her menstrual cycle, or it may be irregular. Again, this impact on the estrogen and the menstrual cycle can lead to a change in bone density from, again, calcium leaching out of her bones from that low estrogen, but also not eating enough dairy foods because they're high in fat may also lead to low bone density and could lead to osteoporosis. Foods such as green leafy vegetables also have calcium, so it's important that an athlete does have a well-balanced diet to ensure that she is getting what she requires to train successfully and be a healthy athlete.